Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Dolly Parton. I will be speaking on her personality traits, her characteristic traits based off of her natal chart. I'll be speaking on how a lot of those placements in her natal chart has led to a lot of the success she's endured. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please make sure you are also hitting that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And please make sure you share this video with everyone you know as well, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who loves this content or loves Dolly Parton. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Dolly Parton was born on January 19th, 1946, so this qualifies her to be a Capricorn. And with this placement, she exudes a sense of being in charge, and she usually is. She's someone who has a very old soul and someone who's beyond her years, even though since she was young. She's someone who's very grounded, very practical, and very patient. And this comes from her being an earth sign. And this is actually a great placement for her to have, even though there are some ups and downs with having a Capricorn sun. It's very beautiful because she's always looking for the next level to achieve, and she's been able to accomplish and achieve so much in her life, especially in regards to the music industry. She's had a lot of people copy her music and has been able to benefit a lot from that. So this is very much a great placement for her. Up next would be her moon in Virgo, and with this placement, she's someone who tends to be very much analytical in everything that she does. So she is someone who will work hard to accomplish everything that she wants to, and she's always a few steps ahead. She's someone who's very practical in her life. She's very productive as well. She's someone who's very reliable and very grounded. And this all comes from having earth signs in her chart. She's someone who's very realistic in what she wants. She's someone who's a perfectionist and tries her best to be perfect. She can be anxious and self-critical at times. However, she is someone who's able to make the best decisions because she takes into consideration everything that goes into situations in her life, and she's been able to accomplish a lot based off these traits, like being practical and productive and being grounded. So this is a very great placement for her as well. Next up would be her Mercury in Capricorn, and with this placement, she's someone who tends to be very much calculated in everything that she does. She's very consecrated, and she does have a lot of goals for herself, and she's someone who's going to set her way in regards to accomplishing these goals. She's someone who is all about practicality, and her conversational style reflects that trait. She's someone who's very great at being straightforward in regards to what she wants in her speech. She may have a very reserved expression. She may have a lot of communication that's very conservative, but she is someone who has a lot of dutiful gestures, and she's someone who's very responsible. She's someone who really cherishes traditional education, and she's someone who will have efficient words to say, and she's someone who is very ambitious in her speaking. Up next would be her Venus in Capricorn. So this is her third Capricorn placement, so she tends to have a Capricorn stellium. So that just means a lot of her vibes and a lot of the way that she acts is due to her having a Capricorn stellium. So she has a lot of Capricorn energy. She's someone who's very mature in relationships, very responsible, very hardworking, successful, and socially validated. This is something that she would like for someone who she really likes to have as well. She's someone who's very stable and wants that as well. Very predictable, very responsible, very productive, and very mature is something that she wants. She impresses with intelligence and determination. She likes predictability in her relationship. She's someone who is a part of like the loner in her, but she's someone who's very old-fashioned, and she's someone who's very hardworking and can count on. Up next would be her Mars in Cancer, and with this placement, this is a very interesting one because I know Cancer is ruled, or Capricorn is ruled in Mars placement, so having a Cancer can be a little difficult sometimes. With this placement, she's someone who is very much going to be very territorial and protective of their loved ones. They may get upset easily sometimes, and sometimes change isn't something that they want and they resist it sometimes, but they're very loyal people. They may be moody and they like to not be direct in certain things, but they're also the types of people who are home oriented and desire to create comfort and safety for themselves and for their family, and that's something that a lot of people appreciate and love about them. They're also the types of people who are very sensitive, have a great imagination, and have a lot of empathy. Up next would be her Jupiter in Libra, and with this placement, she's all about equality, fairness, and balance. And this is done in her Jupiter placement, so she's someone who has the urge to fight for justice and peace wherever she goes, and she's someone who's a very great mediator in her life. She's someone who's also great at having the ability to listen to all sides of a situation and make the correct decisions for herself and for others as well. She's someone who's all about balancing opinions and judging issues, but she tends to be indecisive when it comes to making her own mind sometimes. But I feel like a lot of her Earth placements help her out and balance her out a little bit. She's someone who's very objective and quite concerned with fair play and justice. But when it comes to herself, she's aware that whatever she does might upset people, and she would rather make everyone happy and compromise than make people upset. She also has a Saturn in Cancer, and this is another interesting placement because I know Saturn is ruled in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libra, so the opposite of Capricorn is Cancer, so this can be a very interesting placement to have. Having this placement, she's someone who may always hold back their tendencies to avoid showing any type of weakness in herself. She's someone who tends to maybe want to help people and want to help family, but sometimes it can be a lot, and sometimes she can be too attached to her family where it becomes a burden as well. So knowing that her having balance for her life and herself and having balance between her family is something that's important, because she does have to consider herself and put herself first as well, and that's something that's very important for herself. So this is a very great placement for her to have and learn from. Up next would be her Uranus in Gemini. And with this placement, she's someone who thrives on new ideas, innovations, and a love to adding to her wealth and knowledge. That's something that's very much Gemini energy, because they do like adding to their knowledge. They love to read, they love to learn, and being innovative is something that they are, and I feel like that's a lot of a mutable trait as well, because they are mutable, Gemini. And in the placement of Uranus, they're able to just change things, and they're able to thrive on new things as well. So this, in my opinion, feel as though it's a great placement, because she's able to be open-minded in regards to the masses and just open-minded in general to life. So this is a great placement for her to have, and I feel like she would learn a lot in regards to this placement. I also feel as though it would be great because Gemini, Aquarius go well, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so this is a great placement. Up next would be her Neptune in Libra, and with this placement, she's someone whose main goal is to eliminate confusion and come up with a viable answer that suits everyone. And this is something that is very interesting, because she is someone who is all about experimenting her approach to relationships, whether it's living together or a formation of communes and collectives, that the whole concept of an open marriage. She's someone who is stressed on weekend commitment on an emotional and contractual level, but there are heightened expectations of the level of commitment and mutual support on a spiritual and medical physical level. So that's something that people with this placement tend to have. That's something that they would like to change, is the way people look at marriage and relationships and how it could be done in a different way, and not just the traditional way that it's always been. Up next would be her Pluto and Leo. So since she was born between the lovely dates of 1939 and 1957, she is a part of the generation that is, I would say, the boomer generation. She's someone who revels on any kind of challenge thrown her way, as they love to show off their ability to overcome adversary or adversity in any way that comes. That's something that people with this placement tend to have. They are very much great people, and they're able to just fight regardless of what happens, and they're able to just accomplish a lot of things, and that's something that's very common with this placement that I see. They're also the types of people who are about relationships on the individual to a society as a whole and being thoroughly re-examined. Major attempts will be made to find balance between need and self-sufficient things. Up next would be her North Node in Gemini. So with this placement, she will need to develop these attributes in order for her to uncover these hidden gifts and talents. So firstly is healthy curiosity, asking questions to learn how others think, seeing both sides of a situation, having tact, having logic, communication of internal disagreements, having a positive approach to life and other people, purposely cheering up others, using an interesting approach when expressing her ideas, listening to others, being able to be open to new ideas and experiences, and seeking factual information before making decisions. Also being able to search for the details others miss or ignore, learn to listen to those around her, and even feel that she knows the best. Stay connected to the present and explore her writing potential, which has led her to a lot of her success. Up next would be her Chiron in Libra, and with this placement, she more than likely has the wound of relationships. She's someone who may also have the wound of injustice as well, so maybe she feels like she isn't treated rightly, or a lot of things may have happened in her life that weren't fair to her. So that's something that will be a wound throughout her whole life. Also maybe having relationship issues, maybe in regards to her family, in regards to parents or friends. These are wounds that come with this placement. However, just knowing that you having this placement does not prohibit you from having good relationships as well, and just learning from previous mistakes made, as well as maybe parents' mistakes in regards to relationship, and try your best to learn that you do deserve the best in life. Up next would be her ascendant in Virgo, and with this placement, she's someone who has this rising placement that makes her very much analytical. She's the type of person who wants to help people as well, to really benefit them, and she's gonna work as hard as she needs to in order for her to really help someone get to the level that they want to. She's someone who can look at things in a different way that probably others do. She's someone who may be very shy and very quiet in regards to how she interacts with people. She's also someone who tends to be very much the type of person who's very not that self-assertive. They can be super critical about how she appears to others, but she's someone who has a dedicated work ethic, never lazy, never self-indulgent. She's someone who has a nonsensical approach to stuff and with dealing with others, but she's someone who's very graceful, sensible, and very reserved. Last but not least is her midheaven in Taurus, and with this placement, she's someone who's hardworking, persistent, and can be a bit materialistic. However, she does work hard for it, so that's one of the reasons why it makes sense for her to have this, or anyone with this placement to have it. She's someone who tends to be very persistent in her career and knows how to tough it out regardless of what happens. She's someone, if she believes it will give them results, she will go through those difficulties and she will not let those things throw her off of her course in regards to her career. She's someone who's very hard to relinquish her position once she gets settled in her career, because if you do look at her career, she's been in the music career for over 30 years. So she's been making music and has been very successful at it for a very long time. She's someone who loves a hands-on approach with her career, and she's someone who believes knowledge is her true security in life. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Dolly Parton's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about her, and what traits did you get to know about her based off of her natal chart? Please also let me know down below who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and that you hit that notification bell. Please make sure you hit that like button and that share button so you know when I upload videos on the daily, and that you can share and distribute this information to everyone. If you have not yet followed me on all of my social media accounts, from my Facebook down to my podcast under Abbie Dagrin, please make sure you are, as well as my Etsy store to my Instagram under Gael Beauty, and my PayPal that is linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.